Hey yo, salute to all my subscribers, and a special shout out to everybody else passing through. YouTube, what's good? All right, let's get back into this 50 video campaign. 50 secrets it's okay to keep from your partner, but not really. Someone made a pass at you. The article says, even people in committed relationships get hit on by other people, and it can be flattering or annoying. Depending on the context, before mentioning it to your partner, consider the consequences. If you hope they'll see you as more desirable, are your needs really being met? And if it was someone they know, will they be angry? So this one's interesting. It says, consider the consequences. Are your needs really being met? That one's kind of funny. And I guess the reason why the article is asking that is because if you have a history of complaining to your partner about certain things that are not being done, needs that you have in the relationship, or requirements that you have in the relationship that are not really being met by your partner, that partner will remember that. Even though people may not go out of their way to meet the needs that you communicate to them are not being met, they hear you and they know what those needs are. So I guess the article is saying if you come home one day and tell them, yo, I was at the grocery store or I was at work and such person, asked me out or whatever the case, or, said I was this or I was that. And I guess the article is referencing that person may feel a way, and it may be compounded by the things that you told them are not being done in the relationship that you're noticing. So on one hand, I understand that. And then it goes on to say, if it was someone they know, will they be angry? Now, here's my thing, right? I'm 50-50 split on this, and I'm going to tell y'all why. If a person knows your needs aren't being met, and then you start telling them about people that are hitting on you, making passes at you, showing their interest, and it's people that you come in contact with, if not every day, at least on a regular basis. Like, let's say if it's at your full-time job where you see them 5 days a week, day in, day out, you're working with them all day, or maybe not even working with them, but you work for the same company, so you're going to cross paths. Maybe it's a part-time job or a weekend job, but you're still going to see that person regularly. If your partner knows, even if your needs are being met, as far as your partner knows, as far as you know, and there's really no issues in the relationship, that shit can happen in a split second, right? Because there are peaks and valleys in relationships. Things could be going good one week and maybe not so much the next week. And I've seen this happen. People have a tendency that once they know another person's interested in them, or another person starts flirting with them or whatever, sometimes subconsciously, when arguments happen or spats happen in the relationship, automatically in that person's head, I believe they're going to be, over time, less likely to want to immediately repair those situations because they feel like, oh, this person over here showing interest in me, or if I don't get attention today, I know I'm going to go to work tomorrow and get attention. It's bullshit, but some people operate off of that immature way of thinking, and I've seen it happen, and it is what it is. And yeah, I think if your partner knows that it happened and who it was and that they work with you or you see them on a regular basis, maybe you guys are still in school, college, whatever, and they know that you have classes with that person, or at least you're going to see that person in the quad or in the calf or wherever. They may be a little more insecure about it because they know you cross paths with that person. And I guess that's where, the trust in that relationship will be tested at that point. But regardless of the fact, I still think you should communicate that to your partner. This one, as far as it not being someone that your partner knows, you mentioning it to them, to me, just shows that you're going out of your way to make sure you don't keep anything from your partner. And I think, even for the people who are most insecure, it's best to exhibit that to them. Because most people, when they get past that initial insecurity, that initial jealousy, for those people who may feel that, they'll have to admit, like, yo, this person didn't have to tell me and they kept it real with me. And you got to respect that at the end of the day. If someone comes to you and tells you that someone hit on them, someone show interest in them, ask them out, whatever, maybe they didn't know they're in a relationship, maybe they do know, but they still made a pass. You can't blame your partner for that. And if they go out of their way to tell you that when they don't have to, you should respect it because they didn't have to tell you. And let's be real, most people won't say shit to you. They'll just keep that ace card in their back pocket. And the second that you start slipping up or things start happening over the natural course of that relationship, or you start complaining about things that even if you're the partner and your needs aren't being met and you start complaining about certain things, that person in the back of their head, they're going to be less inclined to want to meet those things if they already have a hard time with it. Like if they're dirty as fuck and they don't know how to keep the house clean and you're communicating that and saying, yo, I need a clean house, whatever, and they know they got somebody over there on that side interested in them, flirting with them, they're going to be less inclined to listen to you to keep you happy, to keep that relationship from becoming turbulent, because it's just subconscious. I guess people feel like if they got a backup plan, they're going to be less inclined to work hard in the situation they currently have going on. This is only certain people. This is nowhere near the majority, but certain people are immature and certain people are all about attention and certain people think this way. So this one, I'm going to say, if you're the partner who somebody hit on you, of course you're not obligated to tell your partner, but I think in keeping with the honesty policy and the open platform and the transparency in your relationship, I think you can definitely find out the kind of person you're dealing with by mentioning it to them, because the realist among us will respect it. Me, I take it as a compliment. If somebody, is admiring someone that I'm with, looking at someone that I'm with, even goes so far as to the extent, of course, not when they're clearly out in public with me somewhere and you can clearly see we're together, then that's disrespectful. I'm going to have to see that person about it. But if it's just you out somewhere by yourself and somebody approaches you, somebody says something to you, I take it as a sign of, I take it as a compliment. You know what I'm saying? Who wants to be with someone that no one else wants? I mean, unless you're the most insecure person on the face of this planet, everybody wants to have confirmation that the person that they chose, they have good taste. And the best way to know that is by the fact that other people also want the person that you have. I take pride in that. The only problem with that is only when it deals with people that I have trust for, who have not disrespected and damaged that trust. That's one thing. So it's optional on that front. If it's somebody I know, you 100% better tell me. If it's somebody your partner knows, you 100% better tell them. And I don't care how they know him. You know what I'm saying? It could just be a mutual acquaintance, somebody that you introduced me to and now I know of them, or it could be somebody in my circle or someone that knows us both, might not necessarily be close with both of us, one more than the other, but they know us both and they know that we're together. See, if they know me and if I know of them, then they know that we're together. And that's a whole nother sign of disrespect. And your partner should know that. And if you wouldn't tell your partner when someone they don't know makes a pass at you, you 100% better tell them if they do know the person, because by not telling them, I 100% believe that you're hiding something. You have something to hide. Fuck all of that. Oh, this may cause issues if I tell them. Nah. If it's somebody I know and you don't tell me that person made a pass at you, that person, you know what I'm saying, did something, said something that kind of insinuated that they were interested and maybe wanted to try and talk to you, take you out behind my back, because they know me, so it's behind my back, and you don't tell me, you need to ask yourself why you're not telling me. Don't say, well, they're friends, I don't want to mess up their friendship. Don't say, oh, well, they're family, because it could be brothers, could be sisters, this shit happens. I don't want to mess up a family. Or, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to start drama if it's not that serious or if I'm not interested. That's the wrong way to look at it. Remember what I say all the time. The point of you being honest with your partner, the point with you communicating things to your partner, it's not for you. It's not about what sense you see in that scenario. It's not about what you think you're causing or keeping from happening by divulging or not divulging that information to your partner. It's about you putting their needs first. That person, I'm convinced that more people would want to know if someone they know or at least know of on a first name basis or they're close with or whatever. I'm sure more people would want to know that scenario than the other. Because for one, if it's somebody I rock with, somebody I deal with, somebody that I have around because I rock with them, they're in my circle, I want to know because then that tells me the person or the persons that I'm rocking with that are in my circle shouldn't be, because they're disrespecting me and my relationship by doing what they're doing when they know that we're together clearly. And they're disrespecting my friendship with them. I don't want to be friends with someone just on the strength of our history, but they're moving crazy. And the one person who should have my back, the person I'm in a long-term committed relationship with, the one person who should be looking out for me above anybody else, because that's the job that you signed up to do. If you're not going to tell me that, then I have to reevaluate your position. Plus, consider this too, because this is the first one I've seen on this article of 50 secrets it's okay to keep from your partner. I'm going to tell y'all this shit, and please don't think I'm on some paranoid shit. I have dealt with people very early on in my dating career. My dating career, my dating life, whatever. And I have known people who have done this. People do this shit. I've never done it to anyone. It's very cynical. It's very immature, but there are people out there who do this. Sometimes a partner will solicit somebody they know to try and talk to you to see, one, what your reaction would be, and two, to see if you'll go back and tell them. Now, mind you, if someone's doing this, you could argue that there's already probably issues in the relationship if they feel the need to take it to that extent. Because some people are just that fucked up in the head. Can't really fault them. Maybe they had a bad dating history. Maybe they had a bad upbringing. Maybe they just had nothing but drama and stress and trauma in their life. So we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt. But do you really want to be the person that person sets you up and sends one of their friends or acquaintances to come try to get at you? And you may not be interested. You may be like, nah, I'm good. You know I'm with whoever. You may pass the test on that front. But then that partner is really waiting to see if you're going to come back and communicate that to them, and you don't. Now, to you, they don't know about it. And to them, you don't know that they know about it because they set the shit up. But now they looking at you a little bit different going forward in that relationship, because y'all got to realize and understand, for all the people who take the approach of, I'm not telling somebody a lot of these things because all it could potentially do is cause issues. Understand that like minds not only think alike, but they attract each other. It goes with the whole saying, birds of a feather and all that shit, right? You keep the same company even if you don't realize you're doing it. That's just, it's a part of survival, right? The reason why we read vibes when we meet people and decide to get in bed, so to speak, with different people is because we're looking for vibes that show that person, or that give us the feeling that person is kind of on the same page with us. Same page, same accord, same shit, right? And if your approach is, if they don't got to know about it, I'm not going to tell them if it's just going to cause issues. I'm going to keep it to myself. Then they're probably thinking the same way. And two people who think that way, you're just going to be in a relationship full of secrets. You're just going to be in a relationship where more shit is unsaid than shit that is said. And you may live in a completely blissfully happy relationship with that, because there is some truth to the saying, what a person doesn't know won't hurt them. That's true. But for those of you out there who, like me, I look for more meaning. For those of you out there who, like me, look for a deeper connection, I want you to tell me. I want you to tell. These are the types of things that I want you to want to tell me, because I'm just going to respect you more, and I'm just going to trust you more if nothing ever happened for me to question that trust in the first place, that's a trust builder. It only can hurt trust, and it only can cause harm if there's already shit going on in your relationship, or shit that happened already in your relationship that somebody, either one, did wrong. Then there's room there for a person to feel a kind of way. Maybe you did something in the past and they feel like you're at it again, or they did something to you in the past and they feel like you're mentioning that as a get back, as revenge. And now they feel like you have ammunition and a one up on them to go ahead and act on that. I still think it's in the best policy with this one to go ahead and tell them. Again, you can make the decision if they don't know the person. I'm not interested. I'm not going to do shit. I'm going to keep it to myself. Cool. I'm not going to judge you. You're not on trial. But if your partner knows that person in any way, shape, or form, if they have ever met that person, shook their hand, been somewhere out to dinner as a group with you, or whatever the case, you owe it to your relationship to tell that person. For no other reason than the fact that I don't want to hang out with, be cool with, be chilling around somebody who's smiling in my face and they got a knife in my back. I don't fuck with phony people. I don't want nothing to do with having phony people around me, period. I just don't. That's just how I operate. That's just how I give it up. So do me that courtesy and always make sure that you're communicating shit like that to me. To the other partner, be careful too. And this is the catch-22 here. Because I can think back to times where partners have communicated those things to me. And I didn't think anything of it because I'm not a jealous person. I'm not an insecure person. My approach is, it's a privilege to be in a relationship with a person like me because I know what I bring to the table. But the second you damage that trust and I find out you ain't shit and you're not to be trusted, then I question everything. And so what happens is I've had partners in the past who've come home from work like, yo, I was at work and this random person tried to talk to me or whatever. And then down the line later on, I found out that those situations were actually being explored and that partner was actually entertaining that shit, but wasn't telling me that. But maybe as a way to try and get it off their conscience or mention it to me, they brought it to me, but didn't tell me the whole story, that they actually gave that person their number or that they actually work with that person every day and that person's continuously doing that knowing we're married. I've dealt with situations like that and it all comes back to the same thing. I don't care how much time passes. There's no statute of limitations to me on you lying to me in our relationship. And the second I find out, I don't care if it's 5, 6, 7 years in and we've been good for the last 2, 3, 4 years straight. The second I find out that you've been keeping things from me that I would want to know, because I would have already communicated to you, don't keep shit from me. I don't operate like that. I don't fuck with people who keep shit from me. If it affects the relationship, if it could potentially affect us and me, I need you to divulge that to me. I need you to be transparent. I always have that conversation with every partner. I expect what I expect because I give what I expect in return. So if I find out anything, there's no statute of limitations. You just fucked up our relationship. So make sure before y'all take the position of I should or shouldn't divulge this to my partner, make sure you know who your partner is and make sure you know what category of people they fall into. Because if they're like me, they're not going to fuck with you if they find out. And y'all know it's just life. And Murphy's Law, what can go wrong, most of the time it will. And when that person finds out, whether it be by accident or whether it be because you get into an argument and you slip up and say some dumb shit, or somebody who saw you doing some dumb shit says some shit, somehow shit has a way of coming out. And if that partner is like me, they're never going to look at you the same. And they may not even fuck with you going forward past that. So don't let something that could even be just a 5, 10, 20 minute spat ruin the potentiality for a whole relationship just because you feel you shouldn't mention something or don't have to mention something to your partner. That's just my position, bro. I don't pretend to know everything. I just know what I know. Let me know what y'all think about this one. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace and love.